Hey there, YouTube! Today we ended up getting a new pan. A lot of our pans are those Teflon non-stick pans. Teflon has started coming off them over the years of use. Turns out some of them we've had for a couple decades. So we're starting to replace them with some stainless steel. And this one is a Cuisinart Professional Series stainless pan, 3-quart saucepan with cover, as you can see, glass cover, so you can see inside the pan. The part number is 8919321, if that number is useful for you. You can see how bright and shiny and how good this looks. This is our first time getting used to stainless steel pans, so we've had to do a lot of research about how to take care of them and such. When we read reviews about these, there was some concern over whether low pH foods like lemon juice or tomato juice would damage or discolor the steel here on the side. From discussions with metallurgists and chefs that I found, it shouldn't happen. But we haven't tested that yet, so we don't know. We'll have to get back to that after we've messed around with it somewhat. There is some question in some of the reviews that I've seen online about this pan about whether it's induction capable or not. And the easy induction test is you take a magnet and you stick it to the bottom. If it sticks, it's induction compatible. So there you go. There's your answer. It should work for your induction. The manual, it comes with this nice little manual and registration form. It warns you that the lid is supposed to fit super tight. And I don't know, sure doesn't feel near as tight as they describe it, but they say if you heat it up, then let it cool down with the lid on it, that it can create a vacuum seal. In which case you need to heat it up a little bit, just enough to take the lid off. I don't know if that's the case or not. Something we're gonna have to test, I guess. They advertise that this has an aluminum plate inside the base here, so it's a metal sandwich. What it's supposed to do is spread the heat out and distribute the heat evenly through your pan. It should give you better, evener heating than other pans. Because it's stainless steel, it's marketed as oven safe. The lid, however, is not, because it's glass. So be aware of that. You don't put the lid in the oven. I don't know how often you actually put saucepans in the oven, but if you do, be aware of that. That is a warning in the manual over here. Being stainless steel, one of the cautions for it is to not use abrasives. Don't use abrasive detergents or like Burlo pads. It's best to use wood or plastic utensils with them, so be aware of that. It's covered in the manual as well. It's very exciting that we got this. We're gonna have to go test it out. So we're finally getting a chance to use this saucepan, and what we got in here is spaghetti sauce. Tomatoes, as you should probably know, is a low pH. Make sure that this doesn't stain the pan at all or anything like that. So that'll be a good test for that, and we'll also get to see how evenly this actually heats. This is our first test, so let's see how it goes.
The pan is doing well with the flat bottom. It rests pretty securely on the burner. Pretty fairly even heat distribution. You can see that it's basically bubbling all around evenly on the coil.
Now looking at this after we've cooked in it and cleaned it, we don't see any staining from the tomato sauce, so the low pH tomatoes did not stain the stainless steel at all. That's very good. That's exactly what we want. We got a couple water spots on here. That's a washer issue. That's not actually an issue with this pan, and actually it feels really slick, especially when I wash the pan. Now, one thing to note, I don't know if you can see it, but there are a couple little scrapes here. So I used a sponge, one of these type sponges, to clean this. I ended up using the green side to wipe some of that tomato stuff that got cooked on there, wipe that off. And you do get some little microfine scratches. I mean, they still feel very smooth, but the metal is soft enough that even one of these sponges, the scrubby side, will scratch these. So this isn't going to be a deal killer for this pan, especially if I don't have that behavior in the future. But I just want you to know that you're going to want to stay away from abrasives in general. Always use the soft side of your cleaning utensils and use the plastic tools, because this metal is soft enough to scratch, and over time you will dig ruts into your metal there.